G'day guys, so an interesting situation. I've just gotten home from Mount Druitt. I've picked up a decently sized red-bellied black snake actually. So he's in the bag here. We're gonna have a good look at him. So basically this snake was first seen on Sunday. The people had one of those big dog bedoes and the dog had the snake in his mouth. He was holding it in there, flicking it around. Initially I couldn't see any bite marks, so he could have just been holding it in his mouth, giving it a flick around. It's a Wednesday now, so it's been 3-4 days since that happened. So there's obviously no major injuries going on there. But the last couple of days, it had been sliding in under a hole under their pool. So we're pulling the pavers apart, and as someone sort of jimmied up one of the pavers, it sort of like grabbed him in place, and I just didn't like how it landed on his back. So I'm probably going to keep him for a week or so. Make sure, one, there's no infection, no internal injuries, no bite marks from the dog attack. 2, make sure there's no crushing injury, inflammations, anything like that from the actual stone. I could just go, yep, got the snake for you, dump him in the bush, but I don't run like that. I take the utmost care and pride and responsibility, I guess you could say, over these snakes, over these reptiles that I do save. So let's get him out, have a quick look. We'll chuck him in an enclosure because he's been through enough for today, for the last few days, but let's hope he's all right. One of the main things I'm going to want to look at after this snake was 1, bitten, but 2, had the little bit of a crush as how well it moves. I don't really like releasing the snakes in people's backyards, watching them move. It's a bit... 1, you might lose a snake. 2, the people don't really like it. They're there for you to get rid of it, not let it back out in the backyard. But he is looking fine. And where that rock did get him, it looks completely fine as well. So hopefully... can see all the gunk and rubble on his back from where we had to dig him up, and just about where that kink is there is where the rock grabbed him. I think possibly a little further back there's an indentation there actually, so that could be where the rock grabbed him. But yeah, I definitely don't see any bite marks that would be from a dog. They seem to think that the dog had the snake right in the middle, but I definitely don't see anything that would indicate any bite marks. There's a little mark. You know what? That there could be a small puncture mark that's healed over since Sunday. It's had 3-4 days to heal, so that's definitely a possibility. That there as well. I'd say, so personally I'd say that and there could be our injuries from the dog, which we can see is nothing too bad at all. It's already healed up. The infections don't arise all that much from dog bites. It's cat bites we're more worried about. So now our main worry is going to be the crushing injury, which right there's a bit of a divot, but I don't think that it's going to cause any major issues. Let's have a look how you move, and if you're moving all right, I reckon we'll keep you for about a week just to ensure. See that divot there, about just above the ground. A bit of a divot and a bit of a scrape actually, to be honest. Put him back down so I can zoom in with my other hand. So just there, you can see the scraping of the scales and a little bit of a divot there. But it doesn't seem to be causing him any discomfort. Nothing obvious anyway. And I think that's our dog bite. There's definitely the same snake. The people were worried that it could have been a different snake in their yard. But yeah, that's definitely... I'll send them a picture of that bite actually. That'll give them a bit more peace of mind that they don't have more than one snake in their yard. She just ran away from me and went all through the hedges there. She's moving completely fine. There's just that small indentation, which just could be a small, I don't know the right terms for it. I'm not a vet, but it could just be a small tissue muscle injury. She's definitely moving, so there's no spinal damage, which is our main problem with things like this, with snakes and dog attacks, it's the spinal injuries which they can't recover from. But this snake's looking quite well considering what he's been through. And look at that, he knows, he's been in the bag, he knows the bag's his safe spot. If I lift up that bag, I reckon he'll go back in for me. There you go, how to catch a red belly. And as always, covered in red belly poo. Thank you. Let's give that a wash. My only concern, which I don't think is actually a major concern, is the get that off. Is that small indentation about that far behind the head. It has full movement of the body. So there's obviously nothing major. Because that crush happened today, I'm gonna keep this snake for at least a few days. Today's disgusting and gloomy anyway. Later in the week is beautiful. Monitor the snake, make sure there's no issues with anything. Its internals are obviously working because it just shat all over me. Even that indent, I'm sure it'll, after a couple of days of healing, the snake will just pop straight back out. They're very resilient, tough buggers. So let's chuck this guy in enclosure, and if all goes well, I'll see you in a few days. All right guys, so it's been about a week now. We've had our red belly. He's survived his crushing and his dog attack. So it's a beautiful sunny day here in Sydney, so we're gonna get him out. We'll have another quick look at him before we take him home, and then we're gonna send him back into the scrub. We don't need to keep him any longer. Where he was a little bit squashed, it's puffed back out, and the dog bites had already healed over when I first found him, so nothing to worry about. So don't read too much into our enclosure here. It's just a nice simple setup. Got a heat light, a hide, water bowl and another hide, just to accommodate him for the week. We're gonna get him out. Hopefully he's not too cranky with us and he wants to play ball. There he is, our beautiful red-bellied black snake. Hey buddy, how you feeling? And there, he's looking mighty fine. He's moving, there's no worries at all. No breaks, no cuts. There is still a small indentation and then a bit of grazing where he was under that sandstone, but nothing that's gonna be any major issues. Goes on the grass, it's probably gonna be like a rocket. No issues there. Look at him traversing through the grass. I need to get him before he actually does disappear. And he's ready to go home. Aren't you, bud? Alrighty, so it is a bit painful, but we do take these guys back to where they originally came from. So we are heading out to the Druitt. About a 40-minute drive, we'll find a nice patch of bushland right where he came from, where he's going to know where he is, where to live, where to hide, where to catch prey. And he's going to keep on doing what he does best, being a red-bellied black snake. So we got our nice big red belly, we got him back home. We've brought him probably 10 minutes away from the house he was found at, in the exact same creek system, in the same bushland, but we've brought him to where the bushland is much bigger. The creek system's a bit bigger, so there's going to be more habitat for him, more food for him to thrive, and yeah, he's going to be raring to go. We'll give him a love tap with the bag. And he's just weary of us there. And look at him just disappear into the scrub. That's one happy snake. Back out in the bush rather than stuck in a glass tank. But we just do that just to make sure there's no issues. I do this with the snake's best interests at heart. If I think there could be an issue with a snake, I'll always take it into captivity, take it into care for as long as short as needed. I don't want to release anything that's vulnerable, that has a smaller chance at living. I want to give them the best chance possible, away from pets, humans, anything like that. Yeah, that's basically exactly what we've done with this red-bellied black snake. He's a survivor, survived all odds. He's happy, we're happy, you're happy. We'll see you on the next one.